Hello, happy Sunday. Marissa here, popping in for our week ahead collective card pull. And it is October 1st. It's the beginning of spooky season, and the altar space has been cleansed and cleared and turned over for a new month and a new season as we launch into eclipse season here for the month of October. There's so much energy coming up this month that I have here some of the channeled words that have come forward as I prepare to launch into the empowerment pack for the month and channeling in the energies that are coming up for us to work with throughout the month. If you are watching this here on Marco Polo, this is the October Empowerment Sharecast. This is my free little space where I come in with my empowered tarot and oracle card readings, collective messages and musings, using all different types of tools for the purposes of connecting in with your own empowerment, for bringing in some of these more spiritual concepts into practical everyday use, bringing them forward into our day-to-day, grounding them in a very practical way, but having so much fun while we do it. So this is no exception this month. You may have seen some of the things I've been sharing. If you're watching this on my social media places, this is a little preview of the materials that I offer over on my Empowerment Sharecast. You are invited and encouraged to join us over there because we will be diving in deeper with all the cards that come forward here. I will be doing messages for each one for us collectively, and I also offer you a personal card pull over there. It's a great space where we're able to connect a bit more authentically and intimately outside of social media with the algorithms, the ads, and so much more that I can do over there to connect more authentically with you. So thank you for being here. As I mentioned, we're kicking off the empowerment pack here, and there is still time to join us. So if you are interested, if you're on Marco Polo, you're going to see over to your left in the little polos to the side, the links and details about joining me this month, as well as a very special today only offer I have with the Hello Empowerment reading, which is a single reading that you can actually use to do the first reading of the month. In the Empowerment Pack, we do 3 readings for the month. The first one being at the beginning of the month, where we tap into your personal month ahead energies. And we bring in not just the tarot and oracle cards, but we also bring in color, crystal, spirit animal energies to support you throughout the month. We talk a little bit about the energetic weather report with astrology. And then we also connect back again for readings at the new and full moons of the month. Also, during the entire month, you have unlimited one-card pulls and exclusive discounts on some of my other special offerings. And I am going to have a few different special readings this month, including ancestral healing. I have a Libra relationship reading available right now, and much more. So if you're interested in jumping in, please reach out. I'll have the details here or in the caption if you're seeing it on social media. And if you wanted to just do the first reading of the month, rather than the full 3 bundle for the month, I do have a special today. So let me know if you're interested. But we are going to get started here because I have 3 of my fun decks. I have so many, I had to kind of reel myself in. We have all month to explore. And it's not going to be all Halloween or Samhain themed, but I just couldn't help myself. I was ready to get it all out and get started. So with that, we're going to bring in a couple of the decks here. I have the Trick or Treat Tarot as the tarot deck we're using. I also have the Halloween Oracle for a bonus message for our week ahead. And then if you request a personal card pull over on Marco Polo, I will be pulling those with the most adorable Halloween Tarot. This is so cute. I get giddy over my tiny decks. The Halloween Tarot is adorable. And so therefore, that means your cards will be getting pulled from a whole other tarot deck, meaning we could see some repeat energies, cards that come up for our 5-card spread. You could also get only underscoring that energy for you and amplifying those messages. So it'll be really neat to see what comes forward in those personal card pulls. So let's go ahead and get started. I am going to bring in, I do have some of my healing energy sprays here that I work with my Metatron color healing. I have spiritual protection and ancestral healing for our altar for the month. But today I'm wanting to bring in the green. I have emerald green energies coming in. I have Archangel Raphael for balance and harmony, feeling that energy for relationships, for healing. And also I have emerald renewal and recovery, which again, depending on how you arrive here from the full moon energies, the full moon in Aries, it was quite a ride this past several days leading up to and through the full moon that was on Friday the 29th. Here we arrive at October 1st, pivoting into eclipse season. So suffice it to say, we could all use a little healing balm energy coming in here with the emerald ray. So let's go ahead and first we'll pull our Halloween oracle card for sort of an overarching energy, a message for us as we look toward October, a symbol or sign of some of the energies we can expect collectively as we move into this first week of the month. Let's see what's coming up there. Beautiful. It's the card of joy, rejoicing in the present. This is so beautiful. The yellow ray actually was the color that we brought in for the full moon in the empowerment pack. We were bringing this in through Archangel Jophiel for beauty and wisdom. And this had a very beautiful message with it that spoke to the understanding that beauty and wisdom is found in both light and dark. So that as we move through these darker periods, as we move into seasons of darkness, or with the light and dark coming together in eclipse, we have this energy of the beauty and wisdom and joy that is to be found in each of those. And also another nod to some of the messages that came forward for us over on the September Empowerment Sharecast. On Friday, I did a special fortune cookie card pull. And just yesterday, another little breadcrumb fell because after I took the trash out, we had Chinese takeout here on Friday, and it led to the collective fortune cookie opening and messages that were shared on Friday. One of the cards that came forward was here and now. Yesterday, as I took the trash out, this fortune fell out from the trash that actually says, I don't know if it'll tune in here because of all the other writing. Never mind tomorrow, today is the day. And this is saying joy, rejoicing in the present. So there's this energy that's coming in about being here now, being present, being wherever we are, whether it's light, whether it's dark, no matter how it finds us, finding the beauty, the wisdom, and joy in each season and in all these energies. Okay, so let's go ahead and start shuffling up. We have a 5-card spread that we use for Monday through Friday. These are just placeholders, of course. This energy all interacts throughout the week. These are collective messages. So, of course, there's some aspects that will resonate more than others. You're always invited to take what resonates and leave the rest. And again, if you would like a personal card pull to delve in a little deeper into these messages just for you, you can request one over on the Sharecast. So let's go ahead and pull a card first for Monday, which sort of kicks off the week, gives us some overarching energy. Wait till you see these cards. So fun. One card here for Monday, kicking off October. Page of Pentacles. Okay, and we've got some brains in here. I see sherbet brains in the Page of Pentacles. Okay, that's Monday's energy. Tuesday represents a potential block or challenge this week. One card here for Tuesday as a potential block or challenge. The King of Pentacles, interesting, double Pentacles energy, and it's moving from the beginning to the mature. So we have the Page to the King, so it's covering this spectrum of the embodiment of the Pentacles energy, which is material, which is earth energy, which is tangible, which is money, safety, security, and so much more. So we'll delve into that. Then we have Wednesday, a midweek blessing. King of Cups. Okay, wow. We've got the King of Cups here as the swamp guy. Let's see. You'll have to excuse if I misinterpret different costumes here. And then Thursday, let's see if we can get out of the court cards. We have how we are growing, but maybe we can't. It is Libra season after all, so it's all about relationships, and the court cards typically represent yourself or others in your orbit, your relationships, the personalities, the circumstances around situations and dynamics. So that is certainly front and center. Thursday is how we are growing through this week. 5 of Cups. Okay, and we've got a little spilled blood, I see. 5 of Cups. And then finally, we have Friday wrapping up the week. 1 card for Friday. Page of Swords. Wow, almost a clean sweep of court cards. So there are definitely a lot of relationship dynamics, personalities, and aspects at play here that we are going to delve into deeper. So now what happens is I will be coming camera forward, and I will be going through Monday through Friday, giving you the collective messages I'm intuiting from these cards. Before we get into that, I'll share a little bit about the energetic weather report for this week, any astrological happenings or noteworthy aspects. And we will also feel into the Halloween Oracle message for this beautiful card of joy. So no matter what we are navigating this week, there is this energy of rooting in, anchoring into joy, rejoicing in the present, being here now. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being here now. Again, if you're watching this on one of my social media places, please click the link if you can in the caption, or if you're on Instagram, I always have it in my bio or will put in my stories. So thank you all so much for being here. Let's take a look and see what's coming up this week. Okay, welcome to the first week of October, and here we have our collective spread, our bonus Halloween Oracle message, the healing energy sprays coming forward, and I just want to chat with you for a few minutes about the relatively light astrological weather energy we have coming up this week, and also because it is the first week of the month, just kind of give you a little overview. We keep saying eclipse season. What does that mean? You know, and eclipses are known for bringing a lot of shifts, changes, and transformations. And these things can be quantum leaps, you know, big jumps forward in time of shifting things and setting us on new trajectories. So as we tune into those energies this month, there's 2 eclipses occurring at the 2 moon cycles, the new moon and the full moon, and they actually come from 2 different eclipse families. So that means the first eclipse that's happening under the new moon in Libra is actually kicking off a new eclipse cycle. So that cycle just kicking off now is one that, in order to feel into some of maybe the themes and energies that could be coming forward for you in the coming months that this eclipse is kicking off, you can look to tracking from March and April of this year, when we had 2 new moons in Aries, at the themes and focus areas, seeds that you may have been planting at that time. This is something we talked about with our full moon messages, and that can start to give you a little indicator to some of those themes that you can expect to be seeing play out over this new incoming eclipse cycle. The second eclipse that will be occurring with the full moon in Taurus at the end of the month, that is part of an eclipse cycle that we've actually been working with since November of 2021. So it's the culmination of that. So when you think about the different themes and the different energies that you might see being shifted with these eclipses, you can kind of look at those moments in time as those goalposts and indicators of what those themes may be for you. And of course, there is no getting around that it brings with it, as I said, a lot of shifts, changes, and transformations. But from a place of empowerment and stepping into a perspective that is aligning us with the opportunities, the exciting opportunities for transformation, shifts, and changes, we want to look at those energies not with words like upheaval and chaos and anxiety, but shifting our thinking and our perspectives into words like possibility, growth, abundance, maybe even excitement to see what's coming forward for us. Because as we are moving through these transformational energies, we also have this time with the thinning of the veil, which enables us to really step into our manifesting ability and connecting ourselves with source. And that is amplified. So however you're wanting to connect with your higher self, loved ones in spirit, the energies of the other side, this energy is greatly amplified, and it really starts to activate our upper chakras. They become awakened and active. So that means like these divinely inspired ideas, flashes of insight, creativity and inspiration, and so much more. So we can tap into these things as looking at them to be quantum leaps to jump to where we need to be for our soul's evolution. It's big energy. So with all that coming in hot, actually, the rest of October is pretty quiet otherwise. So we have a little bit of both, right? This spectrum of energy that we're moving through. And specifically for this week, the energy is, and I was so pleased to see this because this is what I was getting intuitively, which is why I brought in, as you see here, the emerald green bottles, the energies of renewal and recovery, of balance, harmony, and healing, of coming into the heart. This week's focus is on recharge. So as you can connect in with that emerald energy for renewal, recovery on all levels, mind, body, spirit, key words like nourish, nurture, refill, refilling our cup, and really looking at our entire aura, our overall self on all energetic levels. Like I said, physically in the body, mind, spirit, emotional renewal. And so refilling our cup can also mean releasing things such as, and I think we'll get into this with our card pulls here because there's so much personality energy this week, saying the thing, difficult conversations, things that you've been wanting to express or get off your chest. If those things are really affecting your well-being, there's an opportunity for you to release those things in order to refill, to renew, to recover, to balance, to harmonize. So whether those things mean actual conversations and communications with others, if it's a form of release in terms of journaling or setting intentions around things that you are letting go, literally speaking it out. Little insider tip, since you're here on Marco Polo, an amazing way that you can work with this tool just for yourself is you can actually have a conversation just with you. So when you come into Marco Polo, rather than coming into the Sharecast, you can actually in your main menu start a conversation and add whoever you want in that conversation. You just add yourself. I did this for 3 years when I first got started. Probably the first year was mostly, then I branched out and had friends and things that I talked to, but I used to use a separate conversation just with myself as sort of like a little video diary and just spoke it out. If I was, even when I was driving in my car, you can just put on the voice memo and just speak, and just talk it out. So, speaking or writing or in some way getting out into nature and things that renew and refill your spirit. All things that are coming forward for this week, really being gentle with ourselves and caring for ourselves. And this phrase that's coming forward is, it's okay to be where I am. It's okay to be here. And how perfect is that? As I mentioned, and we're about to take a look deeper, this fortune coming forward, never mind tomorrow, today is the day. The oracle message coming forward for us for this weekend being here and now. And now the card that we're about to take a look at as our overarching message for this week, joy, rejoicing in the present. It's okay to be here. Here I am. So that is sort of setting the tone for the weather, the energy that's coming in this week and then into this month, which of course we'll be expanding upon as we go. So now let's pull up our Halloween Oracle card for our overarching message. Okay, kicking us off is our Halloween Oracle card pull from this beautiful deck by Stacey DeMarco, and I am like half off my chair with how perfect this card is, given what I was just saying about the energetic weather this week and this mantra of it's okay to be here. Joy comes forward with this: I stand here. I am where I am, fully alive and present. Stress is a sham. Isn't that beautiful? So it's this energy of shifting into that perspective away from, as I was saying, upheaval, chaos, anxiety, shifting into possibility, growth, and abundance. And it's so beautiful because the yellow ray brings us into that spectrum. It brings us into our solar plexus, our sense of I am, our power, which says brave, courageous, strong, joyous. But on the lower end of the spectrum of yellow is fear, anxiety, worry, lack. So beautifully woven here is that same message. Stress is a sham. If it were that simple, right? Perhaps it is. So let's see what we have here. It says, besides the who of a not so scary trick-or-treating ghost on Halloween evening, one of the most common sounds you'll hear is laughter. There is so much joy at Halloween, and it can be one of the most fun nights of the year if we allow that into our lives. We lead busy lives, whether we are studying, running a household, have a demanding job, or all of them at once. It seems there is little time for us to stop, be present, and enjoy exactly where we are at this time. It has been said that the first step of real change is stopping and acknowledging that we actually need change. While sometimes we may feel that there's little to feel happy about and much to change, we can always feel grateful for something right now. And there is power in that position. It is time to find the joy in this moment and to find that joy more often. Should this card come up in your divination, as it has here for us, it heralds arrival of more happiness and profound joy into your life. It is a good omen. Actively seek pleasure and build more of the things that give you personal joy and laughter in your life. After all, we build in appointments for the dentist. Why not our own pleasure? I can report I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. And to that, this ghost says, boo. Not looking forward to it. It's a simple filling follow-up, but it's also in the midst of my day where I want to be setting off and doing my things, but being present, being here now, taking care of business, checking things off the list, feeling better perhaps for having eliminated something from an ever-growing to-do list is all part of finding the joy and gratitude in the here and now, in the mundane, in the things that are less enthusiastic, the things that don't exactly make us jump for joy, and yet are a part of, again, the day-to-day practical application of how we can bring these color energies and these indications of perspectives and vibrations, energies that we can be in to experience something from the highest vibrational perspective. Or not, right? That is a choice that we are consciously or unconsciously making all the time. So this is about being empowered and being more conscious about the vibration that I will greet this moment. As for me, I will come through the vibration of joy, is what that is saying. I stand here. I am where I am, fully alive and present. Stress is a sham. Beautiful. I love that came through for us, and so synchronistic with that that follow-up fortune that flopped out of the trash there for me, saying, never mind tomorrow, today is the day. let's go ahead and pull up our 5 cards and jump into our messages. Okay, guys, we are kicking off our week ahead with our Monday through Friday spread using this awesome Trick or Treat Tarot. And this has this beautiful companion book that has full color pictures of the cards and a little fun background about this trick-or-treater. So one of the things to really take in here about this spread this week, as I was mentioning in the card polls, is there's a lot of court cards here in the spread. In fact, 4 out of 5. And so what that's speaking to is court cards represent aspects of character. You, people around you in your orbit, personalities, things for us that we are either, potentially projecting, reflecting, or have available for us to embody, and more. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be people in your life, but be thinking about that when we sort of talk about the personalities of these individuals, whether you think that sounds like maybe an aspect of you or someone in your orbit, or maybe a trend of behavior or things that you're encountering. So it's like, the people that we're running into at the store or, in public, in society, strangers, but people we're interacting with that are exhibiting different things, or how it might be coming up for us. So when we start with Monday, it sort of sets the tone, kicking things off, and we have this Page of Pentacles, which is this little zombie bunny who's feeling very giving and sharing because they're offering up these zombie sherbet brains. So, we're going to have fun with this theme, but it's representative of the Pentacles suit, which is the slowest moving suit of the tarot. So because we have 2 Pentacles cards kicking off this week, again, there's this like slow, steady beginning of this week that's bringing in this energy. And when we talk pages, knights, queens, and kings, traditionally, it's sort of showing us that full spectrum. The pages are the youngest, the youth, usually children, young people, but also young novices, new to situations, and they are messengers. So they also bring energy in. So this Page of Pentacles as the zombie bunny, it's saying, of course, tongue in cheek, come and get your delicious brains. They're free. This darling little zombie bunny loves to share, but it's material earth energy that's very much about sharing, material wealth, abundance, and safety, security, all of that root chakra type energy. And this page is typically presenting that coin, presenting that, scoop of zombie brains in sherbet form. So there's this message, this offering of these brains. So, it's showing that there is this energy of getting into this spirit of slow, steady growth. There's also preparations, being prepared, maybe being very deliberate or, focused in how we are using our energy and giving of our energy, or others giving their energy to us, what that exchange is. Of course, again, another reason I think a lot of this personality energy is coming up is because we are here in Libra season, and it is about balance and harmony in relationships. And what is being highlighted for us is where there is an imbalance or inharmonious energy that is available to be recalibrated and bringing greater balance, healing, and harmony. Remember, we're bringing in Archangel Raphael, an energy that we can connect in with for help with bringing healing and harmony into our relationships. And in fact, I do have, at this time of year, I offer a very special reading, Libra season, which focuses on the 6s of the tarot, beginning with the Lovers card, which features Archangel Raphael traditionally, and the vibrations of the number 6. And I take that and have a custom spread that I do for you with the relationship of your choosing, your relationship with others, relationships with an aspect of yourself, your relationship with something such as health, wellness, food, procrastination, self-worth, whatever it is, and we delve into that. So that is an energy that is very present, and these are some of the healing tools that I bring in when I'm working with someone about bringing healing and harmony and more balance to their relationship. So knowing that we have that on offer coming in here, there can be this very focused, prepared, deliberate energy, and maybe that message of Monday coming in with that offering of kind of having that front of mind as we encounter others. But certainly it can be highlighting children, young people in our life, people who are maybe new to jobs or new to certain things, learning the ropes, figuring things out, and needing to be taught boundaries or being taught, the lay of the land. That type of energy that you could be encountering could be you or someone else in your orbit. Now, when this is challenged, it can come in the forms of, as this is saying here, laziness, hoarder tendencies, greed, stagnancy, and dullness. So there can be, like the stuck in the mud, not moving at all. This is an energy of keep steadily moving. So let's see how that contrast comes in with our Tuesday energy, which is a potential block or challenge. Now, Tuesday represents our potential block or challenge, and we have another one of the Pentacles court cards. This time it's the King of Pentacles. And as our beautiful companion book would indicate, and just to get an even better look here at this guy, he is the biggest bad in the neighborhood, the big bad wolf, and everything seems to be pointing towards the fact that Little Red Riding Hood is not present, but we see the remains. So it's talking about his very fine tastes, very particular tastes. And so when we speak to a potential block or challenge this week, the King of Pentacles actually has a lot of noble qualities. And definitely as the Pentacles speak to material wealth, abundance, security, again, generosity and sharing, there's this overflowing picnic basket of goodies. There's all kinds of resources in that basket. There's an abundance of material. It talks about, this is representing someone who appreciates and can usually afford good things in life. They are more interested in what makes life worth living than just surviving. For example, a comfortable home, good food, and a satisfying job are essential to them. They also enjoy things being efficient and convenient. Despite their focus on the material world, they would be quick to remind us that leisure time, peace, and companionship are just as important as quality stuff. To get them on board with your plans, show how doing so will help with their stability and prosperity. They're not interested in irrational or pointless schemes. So they're very practical, earth, grounded into understanding, the practical, logical reasonings for taking a step or investing in something. So again, this is definitely bringing us into money, hitting us in the pentacles. So this doesn't necessarily have to be an individual. Maybe it's you that typically you like to be very efficient in your budgeting and planning and all of the material abundance and having those comforts, but are finding that challenged. There's definitely an energy for many people that's been highlighting finances and having that little nest egg or comfort, and being able to afford to invest in things or just navigating the cost of things, very physical, tangible, material, money, that type of energy that could be a block or a challenge this week. So as much as we might like to indulge in all of those things, and we might prefer to be in that state of comfort and, upper crust energy, like we see this abundant picnic basket, there could be a potential block or challenge with navigating the pentacles, right? The funding of those things and the flow of that energy of abundance. So, as far as individual personality aspects, of course, there is, as a king, energy of embodying all of the highest vibration of the pentacles, of being safe, secure, materially abundant and generous. There's this authoritative power. There's experience. Again, there's maturity, like that's not there with the page. There's a mature energy, generating of wealth and values. There's definitely a focus on things like beauty and generosity and practical, again, decisions, steps. But again, on the flip side, where might this be blocked or challenged? There can be an aspect of overindulgence, of heavy debts, of material wealth, but emotional or spiritual poverty, or being uncharitable. Now, I just know that our Chariot, as I shared last week, one of our cars is on the fritz and had to go to the mechanic and did require some costly repairs. And we are scheduled to pick it up this week. But of course, with that, we need to bring the pentacles in the picnic basket. So again, this doesn't have to be anything huge. This is just this week's energy collectively. How might it show up for us? And being challenged in the pentacles, being challenged with that, picnic basket of abundance, and just sort of that's a block or a challenge that we're moving through at this time. So that could be something highlighted for you that may or may not be between you and any other individuals, but just coming up as something that's, showing itself in one way or the other. But let's see on the other side of that, what is the midweek blessing for us this week with the Wednesday energy? Now, Wednesday brings in our midweek blessing, and we have another court card. It's the King of Cups. So another king. So we have that embodiment of the suit of cups. Cups is the element of water, which connects in with our heart chakra, with emotions, with flow, and it brings in that watery energy. So midweek, as a blessing, the King of Cups is very emotionally balanced. If the king is the embodiment of the suit, that means that yes, there's a lot of intuition, a lot of inner knowing. There's a lot of, being very tapped into that fluid energy, but also not overly emotional, very balanced and even keeled and just sort of hanging out there on his throne, right? So there's this energy of this sea king wielding from their throne. So here's our big picture. I love this. So beautiful, this book. It's just so lovely illustrated. King of Cups. I mean, he is beautiful, right? He's very dapper, very handsome. So this sea king thinks you are just as charming as can be. Want to sit by his throne and share some of his slimy green beverage? No? Well, you might want to reconsider that. Refusing his friendly overtures might cause offense. Do you really want this guy's mischievous malice oozing in your direction? So, a little fun there, but I do feel as a blessing. And what we'll see here with this next Cups card, so there's so many synchronicities with these cards, is a blessing of wherever the chips fall, whatever the circumstances are around this slow, steady building of abundance or lack of abundance or dip in abundance or, figuring out how to fill the picnic basket with less or however it's showing up for us, which can really, certainly take a dig emotionally and feel very heavy. If that were the case or anything like that, that could be a challenge for us. Just really flowing with it, right? Going with the flow of here I am experiencing a thing and my emotions are very balanced. My intuition is on point. I'm feeling really in flow. So when this comes up, it's really representing someone or a way of being that we make decisions from the heart that benefit our relationships whenever possible for the greater good. So, while that can be seen as a bit of, idealistic at times, like the Knight of Cups, because again, after the page comes the Knight, which is also still like a youthful energy and a novice energy of starry-eyed, romantic, heart on our sleeve energy that we mature into the balanced king, ultimately, following through that trajectory. But this king is not naive and never loses sight of the big picture. The world is rarely kind to tender-hearted dreamers. This king has suffered, making them very empathetic, but never a dupe. They realize that understanding the world is essential because you can't play the game if you don't know the rules. To enlist the sympathy and help of this person, be sincere and make sure your idea truly serves a greater good in some way. Try to trick them and you'll feel the wrath generated by all the wounds they've suffered. So again, I'm getting a little fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. So a little midweek blessing here could be wisdom through experience, through flowing through having experienced certain things in the past, and through those experiences, gleaning wisdom, gleaning perspective, and gleaning empathy for others that we might see moving through something or struggling with something, that midweek we could have an opportunity to be a source of comfort or strength for them, or perhaps we could be on the receiving end of someone giving us a compassionate, empathetic, listening ear, for something that we're moving through. So there could be this exchange too of that energy that could come up for you where, there is this energy of feeling supported or held, or having an opportunity to support or hold someone else. Balance. There's a lot of balance there, emotional balance. And I just noticed the rubber ducky. I'm just going to show you it on here since it's so much easier to see. Little rubber ducky there. Again, water. Use water to help you when we talk about our self-care, when we talk about doing things to help yourself renew and refresh and refill. If you enjoy something like taking a bath, salt baths, or cleansing showers, using the shower to help you to wash away any dense, heavy energy, that's a really quick, easy, multitasking kind of way, because if you happen to be bathing, you can use that shower and envisage that water raining down, washing away anything dense and heavy that you're carrying, and watch it go down the drain. Use this visualization, and you can do that in your day to day in a really practical way. But the rubber ducky giving me a little nod to maybe like salt baths or something, of taking a bath or using water to help you in this nurturing, renewing, and revival of spirit. As a midweek blessing for yourself, or perhaps again having an opportunity to impart that wisdom to others as well. So let's take a look at the Thursday energy. Okay, Thursday brings us into how we are growing, and we've got another Cups energy here. As we had the King of Cups, now we're looking at growing into this energy. It's the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups can carry a rather heavy energy. This is a card of loss, of mourning, of disappointment, of moving through something that has spilled or left or is draining from our life, or from our body, something that is pulling from us energetically. Let that flub go, because that feels like a breadcrumb. Here's the beautiful close-up. I love it. The story is actually pretty cool. So let's think about this. This is a card that can be called the crying over spilled milk card. Some cups have spilled. Those contents have gone. There's no getting those contents back into those cups, or perhaps they were never full of something that we were wanting or wishing for in our life that hasn't materialized. And so there can be a sense of redirecting of focus to say that not all is lost. You can see over her shoulder that there are still some full cups. And as this story fills us in, what we have here is the last of the special Halloween, not really blood, but looks like it, punch. So our vampire has spilled most of it. It's not the end of the world, but cleaning up a mess during a party puts a damper on the festive mood. Although it could give her time to pull herself together, get over her disappointment, and enjoy the rest of the evening, right? We're brought back to our joy in the present, right? Rejoicing in the present. I might have spilled the not really blood, but looks like it punch on the carpet, and hopefully it will come out. But not all is lost, is sort of that energy there that we could be growing into, of being able to flip that script and see some of our trials, tribulations, struggles, losses as an opportunity to find the joy, find the beauty and the wisdom. Remember, we brought in Archangel Jophiel, beauty and wisdom, reminding us that light and dark, both beauty and wisdom, is to be found within them. So there's always a silver lining. There's always something bright that can be gleaned from a loss, or something that is heavier or dark. So there is that on one level. On the other level, when this card comes up, this can be about you responding to a great loss, probably something much more significant than spilled punch or spilled milk, right? So processing loss is not fun, but it is an important part of life. Not processing usually means trouble in the future, right? Stuffing it down, holding it down, not releasing emotion. Energy in motion, emotion. It must move. So if we repress, if we stuff down, if we hold in, that over time, that from an energetic perspective will then in turn settle in, and there's a blockage or something that isn't moving fully through the body, and that turns into a physical ailment, illness, dis-ease in the body. It's all being connected, right? And so all of those repressed feelings will ooze into the corners of your life. Yes. So they'll all ooze into the corners of your life eventually. So it's best to face and mourn your loss now, even if it is painful. Then, when you turn around and see what remains, you can embrace it with an open heart and appreciation. It won't bring back what is gone, but it will help you as you shape your future anew. Some of the key words here, of course: mourning, loss, sadness, regret, and repentance. But again, when it is in shadow, when it is out of balance, it can look like self-pity, obsessing over the past, beating yourself up, martyr, victimhood, that type of energy. What I was feeling here, especially when it comes to relationships and dynamics, and when we talked about eclipses being, jumpstart and leaps into new pathways, new energetic timelines that are most aligned for us. What happens before a jump is we start to see sort of a stripping away of old habits, patterns, ways of being, people in our life that are no longer a vibrational match to where we are headed. And I think the way that we are growing is as we experience, sorry, my husband's mowing the grass and he's like right outside the window. As we are learning through experience, remember the King of Cups reminded us that this is not my first rodeo. I can empathize and feel with these sometimes heavy, sometimes very significant emotions because I know what it feels like to have a loss. I know what that feels like. I've experienced this. I've had my punch spilled all over the floor and some have left stains, right? And rather than looking at these things as building on like, of course my punch spilled again, like it always spills. And now we start to give that energy. If this is about the loss of relationships, people, places, things in our orbit that have gravitated out or we have felt compelled to gravitate away from, certainly be present with feeling whatever feelings come up from that, moving through those feelings, even the lower vibrational ones that may come in the form of like anger, resentment, shame, blame, all of those things are serving a purpose. Because as we move through each of those emotions, energy in motion is raising the potential for us to step into a frequency of gratitude, of appreciation, of recognizing the growth, maybe the healing that came through a certain relationship or interaction that just now is no longer a vibrational match. And it brings us to a place where it doesn't have to be personal and it doesn't have to be you versus me, right, wrong, you did, I did, energy versus more of like a namaste energy of like being in gratitude for the time that you were in sync with that person or that time of your life or that routine or habit and the group of people that you may have been having it in. So this could be too like coworkers or friends, different relationships and things, of course, romantic relationships and however that might show up for you. How are we growing into the knowing that each one of these things are facilitating the learning, growth, healing, expansion, and that as things have served their purpose and time, as the energies become on different frequencies and we just simply fall out of alignment, we can allow those things to go with love. I always see the spill as like something is circling the drain in our life. Something is no longer a match. Something is no longer fulfilling us. And we're watching it go down the drain, okay? And we don't want to stay there too long. right? We spend our time in the present, be with that, feel that, move through that, but allow, again, that shower, that cleansing shower, and watching that go down the drain, symbolizing you're releasing, letting it go, and then turning your focus to those full cups, to the blessings and abundance that are right here and now in your life. And you greet those things. How have you grown? Now you've grown into an emotional maturity, an empathetic maturity, where you are able to pay forward, the dynamics of what you learned. And that includes being empathetic and sensitive to yourself, right? If there were relationships that you maybe stayed in too long or allowed, now of course, in reflection, it turns out that those things served a purpose too. Perhaps you letting yourself be a doormat or taken advantage of or fooled, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. To the extent that everyone had their role to play, can I send that love, gratitude, and then turn and honor the experience by moving forward from an empowered place, growing into what I know now? So that feels like a strong message for me because of knowing how these relationship dynamics are in the spotlight. But of course, this can be moving through loss and mourning of all types. So there is, a way of honoring that and being present there, but then also stepping into the new and pivoting into what we have grown from. Okay, let's wrap it up with Friday. Okay, guys, finally Friday, we come to the final card, yet another court card, another youngster. We've got the Page of Swords. So now we went from the Page of Pentacles, Earth energy, to the Page of Swords, air energy. So this one has a lot of personality. The energies coming through here in the Trick or Treat Tarot is definitely speaking to some personality aspects. So I'm going to share those because it may bring to mind certain individuals or certain characteristics or things that could be for you. And remember, just because it's Friday and it's the wrap up doesn't mean that it's only on Friday. This is, again, an energy that's woven throughout the week, can show up in any number of ways as these cards interact together with this energy that we're bringing collectively throughout the week. So pages, again, being the youngsters, the novices, swords being the air element, which taps into our head, into the crown, into our intellect, into our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, air. So the Page of Swords says, no, I don't need your help. I can totally swing this sword. Yeah, someone bit off more than they can chew. They probably read a book and thought they could manage. Don't worry, they will put the sword down soon enough and run around sharing funny stories. So maybe somebody who's a little headstrong, a little strong-willed, and of course this could be a young person in your life, but it could be anybody. Could be you. So what ways might you be being stubborn or headstrong about doing something? When this card comes up, it represents someone who has a way with words and logic problems. Like all pages, they can be a young person or someone inexperienced. Because they are really smart, they usually understand the theory of things, but don't often have practical experience. They love talking and words and correcting grammar and pronunciation, which makes them kind of snobby and an annoying know-it-all. Anybody? Are you getting anything from this? Sometimes they do seem to know it all because they are gifted gossips. So besides talking and knowing things, they can be excellent problem solvers. If you can avoid being annoyed with or laughing at them, they can be very helpful team players. So some different aspects that could be kicking up. Keywords: young, inexperienced, smart, clever, lover of words. And again, in challenge, a know-it-all, clever but cruel, humor, show off, and gossip. So again, there's extremes of everything. When we are in the positive or in the high vibration of something versus the negative or low vibration or anywhere in between, these are just different keywords that could play up. So when you talk about, the thing I like about the swords is they do bring a degree of clarity, of truth. Just one sword indicates to me like, aha, cutting through, really being able to get to the crux of something. Now, being that it's being wielded by this younger novice who is kind of being a little bit headstrong, that's a big sword. So that could be a big truth. That could be a big concept that's maybe a little much to manage, trying to get that over. So that could be symbolic of a big aha truth, something being revealed or coming to the surface. I was looking at this character and what their costume is, because I think that's the costume of, oh gosh, what were they called in like the medieval times, of like that doctor mask that they would wear? Like, I don't know, but I'm just saying that I'm looking at the type of costume it is. That's a heck of a big sword that could be cutting through and bringing in clarity. So not to forget our collective, our macrocosm, and the way that all these personalities and all of these aspects are playing out all the time on the big stage, right? So it plays out in the form in our lives as the people, the players, the co-workers, the neighbors, the guy at the grocery store, the person in the car in front of me, my boss, whoever, but also our children, but also these big key players that are holding certain titles and roles in our macrocosm on the big stage. So this could also be an indicator of a big something coming in there too. I don't know, but just picking up on all the different signs and symbols here, and just the different implications that as we wrap up this week, there could be some of that type of energy at play as well. Again, always from a place of empowerment, being here now, choosing to come through the lens of joy, choosing to come through this lens of seeking out the learning, the beauty and the wisdom in everything, but doing so from a very authentic, empowered place where I'm using my discernment and, as the sword, inner truth detector. My inner truth detector. I'm not getting overly emotional. I'm not getting swept up in all of it. I'm using my intuition and my wisdom. We have two kings here, 2 pages and 2 kings. So we sort of have this energy of, one end of the spectrum and the other, both at play all the while, with that 5 of cups in the middle, like spilling bloody punch everywhere. So, it's going to be a ride into eclipse season. So I'm here for it. I want to support you in any way I can. So as we wind down these messages, just remember, if you would like a personal card pull for you to go with these messages to see how this may be more specifically for you, do let me know. You can reply to the polo here on Marco Polo, or you can send me a message in whatever way works for you. And I'm going to be using a second super cute, just so you can see how cute, teeny tiny little tarot. This one's much smaller, but it's got all the cards of the tarot in here too. Just this one uses some really fun, I think, ghosts and bats and imps, and different archetypes in this Halloween tarot that I'll be using for your personal card pull if you would like one. Now, I am launching into the October Empowerment Pack readings. That's going to keep me pretty busy, so I will be doing these complimentary card pulls in between as I'm able to, but I will get to you. If you let me know, I'll let you know that I will be in touch with your card pull this week, and I will be delivering those right here on Marco Polo in a personal message to you. So thank you guys again for being here. If you are interested in joining me for the Empowerment Pack, you will see in the many polos that I posted today, or if you're seeing this with a caption, there will be information with how you can book the Empowerment Pack for October. We also have a bundle that takes you through the end of this year and savings, so you could book the next 3 months so we can work together more consistently to finish out this year. Or if you just want a little mini, I have a very special offer here on the Hello Empowerment, and that is a great, like, getting your feet wet empowered tarot reading. That's already a great value, but I'm actually offering it this weekend at a discounted price here on Marco Polo. You'll see it a couple polos back. It's $33, and you can have that as a focused reading where you might have a question or two or area that you want to look into, or if you would like, you can use that reading as the first reading of the month, the month ahead energy reading that I do for the Empowerment Pack, and you receive your personal reading with your energies for beginning, middle, end of the month with bonus oracle messages as well. So there we go. Thank you guys for being here. Sending you lots of love, wishing you a beautiful, restful, recovering, nurturing week as we go. We'll talk soon.